into the darkness. I can see you guiding me. I'll follow in your footsteps, mother, for so long. Head into the darkness. You don't wanna follow me. Say goodbye to everything. Say so long. Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Made in Abyss Season 2. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. It is February 14th, and I feel like it's a little bit weird, but kind of fitting that we should watch a show that is so much about love on today, that loving holiday. At least in Brondrude's words, it's about love. Ay, desio. Ay, desio. That movie was a whole lot, wasn't it? Yes, it was. I'm not going to spend too much time. I thought about even postponing getting into season 2 and just spending some time talking through some of the comments on the movie, but I've decided against it with one exception. And that exception is that immediately after I released the movie, people started commenting that they were disappointed that I had skipped the credits. I apologize for that. I was pretty emotionally and kind of wanted to get right to it, and I didn't feel like I wanted to wind down, you know? The credits felt like a windy downy type of thing. I didn't feel like I wanted to wind down. I wanted to be blah, you know? I don't know. Anyway, that's my lame excuse for why I did that. I do regret it, and so what I'm going to do is while I draw something, and I don't know what I'm going to draw at all, which it's been a little while, while I draw something, I'm going to play that ED end credits sequence. Why is my light flickering? So instead of winding down after the movie, we'll use that song and end credits to wind up for the second season. I don't have any expectations except good things and spookiness, and gosh, we're going to lands uncharted, like totally unknown to most of our known world. Potentially infinite lands, right? I still feel like there's some really insane magic physics going on here that enables the abyss to be functionally infinite. But I don't know what that's going to look like, and I'm really excited to get down there and find out what's right beneath the surface of our understanding of our reality, you know? Okay, so I have the movie back up. I'm at 1 hour, 40 minutes, 24 seconds in the film, and what I've done is I've gone to the exact frame that the dot of white that's going to become bubbles or something first appears on the bottom of the screen. I'll put it up here. You can see where it's at. It's like literally that dot. I just frame forward until I got to that exact moment. That's the 0 point for watching this end thing. I'm not going to be able to throw it into the YouTube video in its entirety. I might do a chopped up version, and then I'll throw it in the beginning of the picture-in-picture version, so it'll be available there. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna watch this. I am going to pull up the camera as well and start doing a drawing as I go. I might end up drawing the orb submarine elevator thing or some rendition of it, but I don't know. I want to see this ED thing, and it feels like it's a piece of unfinished business, you know? So I'm going to finish it up. Okay, so let me go ahead and throw up the first beep beep timer. This one is for the movie, 1:40:24, and make sure that I'm on the right tracks and stuff so that hopefully we get subtitles and all that jazz. Okay, beep beep timer for the song at the end of the movie. That's a really cool style. Already and immediately. You know what? I feel like we are going for an orb again. But maybe we're looking out of it. That's gorgeous. What is charcoal? Looks like it. I won't turn back. Oh, this is perfect, isn't it? Are they bones? I think so. That's beautiful. Like brushstroke wisps, but they had to animate them, so how do they make them so continuous feel? Whoa. Like sea anemones. That's crazy. I'm getting choked up. This, the sadness never disappears, it just becomes a part of us, huh? To be continued. Right now. Oh, macaroni. I'm glad to have seen that now. Mostly to have heard it, the song. I am quite ashamed of having skipped it, especially in a show where we've spent so much time talking about how important the music has been. What a foolish thing to do. My apologies. So I feel like this feels right to me as far as a drawing goes. Is our characters in front of an open window toward the unknown feels exactly right. Just taking the visual of the submarine orb and reversing it, having our characters looking out this window toward a future. I know Nanachi's along with us, and I know Mania's along with us, and we've got a whole squad and a whole party and stuff now. But it's really about this duo, and here they are, stronger than ever, more tied to this place than ever, more curious than ever, with more mysteries than ever, ready to step into the unknown. It's so it's so endlessly inspirational, isn't it? And those lyrics in the song cement some of it. The sadness never goes away. To carry on is a burden. I guess. Now we've got it back, huh? Well, there's only one way to go, and it's down, baby. This is kind of cool because it's so similar to two other drawings that I did during Made in Abyss. I think the very first one and then maybe the second or third one. There's been a lot of circular objects or deep pits, obviously, but this feels like we're moving forward into it and also looking out through it. Like there's a barrier between us and it. And there's a lot that kind of folds into the vision here, and it's also obvious to me as I sketch this out how different I am in terms of like confidence and capacity with a pencil. You know? It's kind of cool. And so, having overcome Bone Druid's challenges, whether you view them as tests and trials or an actual intentional attempt to cause mayhem and murder, is up to you. And there seems to be a pretty wide variety of opinion on the matter. We're through, and now we're going deeper without any particular specific looming threat. Nobody chasing us, nobody waiting for us. Just the unknown and all the challenges that the Abyss has to offer. I just opened the file for the season for the first time, and it's got the title of the season, so I think I'd be remiss not to mention it. I'm using the Motbob version MTBB. Made in Abyss. Season title, The Golden City of the Scorching Sun. I have a couple of questions. City? 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 Question 2. The sun's up there. Not Golden City of the scorching force field light from up on high that comes down via weird magic physics. The Scorching Sun. What? Wild. I'm immediately excited, and my mind is popping options. It also totally sounds like a campaign setting for your favorite role-playing game. Adventure now into the golden city of the scorching sun, filled with Ginny and Afridi and other fiery, solar-y creatures. Yeah, feels right. Very City of Brass. I wonder if it's like that. I don't know. A city? Where who? Who be living in the... All right. Hollows everywhere? But taking the last... Well, last to us. It's just the end of our knowledge, right? Okay. We're going to watch episode 1 of season 2 of Made in Abyss, and I'm very excited for it, and I hope you are too. Thanks for joining me, and the same spiel as usual. 2 versions, picture-in-picture, in the description, timer on YouTube, beep timer to count you down, early access on the Patreon, that's all of the things. My hair just got messed up. No! Season 2, episode 1, beep timer. Oh, the compass. Wait, is that not the... No, that is the compass, right? Yeah. In the place where this compass... Whoa. Are you getting raped? Jesus. The one time in his life. Every time it happened? The blocked out bad times? This was his story and where he found the compass. So we're related to this character by this artifact. That's like bad news. That's really bad news. Did these people come up? Loved? Maybe. And barely warped. All of the tone and color is crazy, but the compass doesn't stand straight up. So this is far outside. So they're not... Okay. So their death and destruction is not caused by the curse? Man-eating pit is exactly right. You about to brand somebody? Holy shit. Not just sexual abuse, but total true torture. And I had to cover it. Where is this? Another yearner. It's like the start of a whole new show, y'all. Yeah, and where I don't get tortured. Oh, please don't eat our cat. Come on, man. Anything to get away from your abuser, yeah. Yeah, fair. Wow, that was a cool piece of animation. Who is this character? Are we on a boat? Are we in the dockside place at the edge of things? No, we're riding there. And it's a whole group of children trained for this? What nation is sending them? Oh, and he's coming with us? No, okay. Yummy. Seems like a good guy. Yeah, true seasickness. Some people get it, some people don't. You either get over it quickly or you never get over it. Huh? What? Uh, you're getting used to the pain and torture. Good job. Oh. So it's a second compass. It's a second compass. The Three Sages of Ganja sounds like a rap group. Thanks, man. Man, coming right off of a good dad figure. Yeah, majide. Whoa. You're a prince? What the fuck are you? Dude's made of birds. I don't know what that means. I get huge Princess Tutu vibes from this guy immediately. Touched by the divine? Another driven one, huh? Are you another one of the Three Sages? And all three of you have some kind of mark or scar? The side of your face, the head, and hair. What? This is a totally different story. How are these gonna collide? Are we gonna meet fully down there all that way? God, all of my worth is my sex. Rip. Fuck. Eh. I don't think she understands. All right, who invited Griffith? Whoa! Whoa! Fix your eyes upon the darkness. That voice. Fuego! We finally have a name. What a crazy character introduction. Yeah. A little bit condescending, but did definitely see through some things. 3 sages. So this for them is like an unknown quest. When? Are we there? Where? Oh, land ho. Ho. Nobody knows that Orth is there, right? Whoa. This would have been a really cool first introduction to the series, you know? There we go. Coming in from the outside with all the wonder that. Oh, man. Our abandoned homeland. We're a whole people moving here. Training and training. Insane. Up over the edge and you finally see it. Like, yeah, let's all travel to a magic world. Everything sucks where we are. Let's go somewhere where there's legit magic. Belong. Dark eyes that reflect the darkness. Wait. This is pre-city? This is pre-fucking Orth. This is like a bajillion years ago. Time. We're gonna meet these people down in the Lost Lair, aren't we? And there are already primitive peoples living here. Are there dinosaurs? They're already ancient ruins! They're already ancient. The world is expanding and my mind is too small to fit it all inside. Abyss glyphs? Good thing we didn't start off on that foot. The compass. You hold our holy artifact! Thief! Oh, the shape too? Or formed of the core? Uh-uh. Well, we already found what we were looking for, right? Don't give up your hyper magic that easily! The yoke that guides you, your treasure! Oh, it's got so much, like, non-existent context. Took that to heart Oh, hi there. Okay. And totally I mean, I guess there are people all through it. Oh, hi, little one. Wounds. Can't. No more mouths to feed. Maybe she'll be able to help. Just eating bugs. She doesn't talk or know anything, so that might not work. But okay, great. We've got ourselves a guide. Barefoot. Interesting. Well, she will at least be able to point at things and go, ah! Ah! Help! Help! Hey, nom nommers. Bug? Oh. Oh, went up the hill. Went up the hill. The curse. The man-eating pit. There will be no returning. Finally realize what you're getting into. Yeah, you really do. God, if that dude tries to do something untoward to that child, I think that's where we're going. I just have a vibe. Oh God, no. Ah. Well, they're already down here. Seeking the totally unknown. They made it all the way down here. And that's our transition. Time is totally whomped here, man. Whatever's been going on in here has. Why did Nanachi get stuck, I wonder? Has been going on for a long time. It's been at least a cycle, right? Wild. Wild. so freaking cool as a setup. Yeah, but as part of like a remnant of ancient rituals now long lost, right? There are lots of comments. Yeah, there are lots of comments. Save the world. Usher in the new. That bastard's words are laced with poison. Yeah, man. Yay! Needs more meh. Come on, go for the hug. Meh. I'll take it. Oh, he can still do that. So he's got just an eye down below, huh? Meh. We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it her name. Okay. All right. All right. Oh yeah, that'll be an instant, like a frog in a microwave. Oh, we do get to look out at everything. Rad. Absolutely rad. What the fuck? It's like a whole ecosystem floating around. Bones. The bones that we saw. Wow, okay, so we're really seeing it. And we saw it. We're seeing it. This is where physical reality ends. Yeah, I was wrong about when we popped through the wall being our weirdness. It's definitely layers and stuff. We're going so far down. It might as well be another world, just totally disconnected. What you got? A blessing! A sacrifice! Yeah, no bathroom in this submarine? Uh, no bathroom in this submarine, huh? Seems about right. You have to go! I mean, it is what it is. You can hear a poop drop. The scorching sun? What the Another layer of water? Why the layer? Why the separate? What the fuck? That's a clock tower! This is another civilization. More ancient than. And now we're here. Whoa, a ritual? To make a. So now we walk in their footsteps. Alright, bye, giant submarine. Show me the thing. Capital of the unreturned. The stuck. The lost and forgotten. I love the whole vibe that we're like stepping back through the footsteps of the past and uncovering these secrets and mysteries that we could maybe make them keep unfolding in both directions as we move toward them and they move forward. I guess maybe that's just the idea of the first episode and probably won't continue, which is really unfortunate because I love that multi-timeline stuff. I want to say something. The first thing that I say after the credits end is going to be something crazy. It's going to be crazy. That's so potent. Trade pain for pain. With every wound I'll be formed and find my shape. Okay. Seems like we are back to obvious titles, which I'm honestly a fan of. I like the evocative titles too, but the obvious ones work really well. I said I was going to say something really crazy as my first impression takeaway from this episode. I'm going to hit you with something really crazy. I think that this episode 1 of season 2, does as well or even maybe better than season 1 of episode 1 at building up the tone of adventure, yearning, longing, and mystery that is so pivotal to our show. Because we can dispense with a lot of the core character introduction stuff, right? A lot of our first episode is dedicated to beginning to understand Rico and figuring out what's going on with Reg and just getting started, just introducing stuff. Because we do it as this offbeat vignette, we don't really need to know these characters' names that much. We don't really need to know their story that much until they collide with ours. What we need to know is their direction. We need to see them in motion, moving towards something. And we get such a clear, trajectory at the start of this. With tons of mystery, not filling out the whole thing, right? Not giving us every piece of detail because we don't have to. And that leaves lots of room for me and you to look at it and be like, when is this? What's going on? What nation is this? What's happening? Because what we really need to focus on is the most crucial, pivotal, simple things, the important stuff. So what's that important stuff? Abuse and pain is real is the first of it, right? This is a person who's experienced great pain and sees this compass, like many of her people do, as pointing toward a future, toward a possibility. We get that explicitly in her lines at the beginning, a place without him, a place without all of this. I don't know what it will be. It doesn't matter what it is, because it's not here. Here's bad. Somewhere else. Somewhere other than this. And that's the whole motive of all of them, it seems. Forsaken by their people, forced out. It's unclear exactly what that is, what that's all about. Why? We don't need to know. What we need is a trajectory. So we've got the yearning. It's hammered into every bit of it is the yearning, the longing. It drives these characters, and particularly, I forgot her name. Fuck. It was weird, and it had too many vowels and weird places. Driven by longing. And it only makes sense to get that here when we're crossing that threshold, going to places beyond and discovering in narration, sort of, in the unknown to Nanachi and Reg and Rico, discovering that these lands are not untouched. They are explored many times over, and they are ancient beyond ancient. What we've theorized about the abyss folding its layers in and collapsing and whipping everything down into a new one and leaving more or whatever seems to indicate to me that whenever they ventured to this place was a full cycle, if not more cycles, back. Although, it's not as though there was a new layer on top, right? Not really. Or maybe just full, I don't know. I got no idea. But I'm guessing that a lot of the ruins of that we find in the first layer are the ruins of those tribal people who they were interacting with, which is amazing. And they make all of the same sacrifices too, right? In the name of exploration. We saw that altar or dish used to generate a whistle in order to activate the relic, right? And bring them down. This place takes. It takes from you. Pain for pain, wounds for wounds, and shapes you. Oh man, it's really cool. The opening is so evocative. It manages to rely on some some aesthetics that are familiar. The rapey step parent is right there, right? As is the drunk old fool who only talks about this one story that they had when they found the golden penny, and actually that's the MacGuffin of the whole story, is evocative and familiar as well. So with all of that, we can just pepper in some particularly spicy pain. Some, looming adult figures over a child's body will do that for you, and it does that for me. Brandish a brand, and it does it double. Cruelty and pain is just a part of the life, right? And that continues through when we meet the tribes girl who's set to be sent off into the pit because she can't bear children. Woof! Some potent stuff, some potent ideas put together over this opening to our second season. And it's that potent. It feels like there's been more time to feel out what the vibe of Made in Abyss will be from the author and figure out what they're gonna go for, and then they can just nail it here, because this nails it. Going through an endless raging sea only to see this insane peak of volcanic impossibility. It's like the old story that Jason and the Argonauts going off and fighting sea monsters and finding islands with crazy people on them, and it's rad. It's rad. It's like old school fucking storytelling, you know? Tone and lighting all throughout is spectacular and awful when it means to be. And we continue our trend of not great parental figures. I don't know, parental, but you know what I mean? Yeah. What was going on here? Smoldering, smoking corpses, bowels expulsed. And the other one was still moving despite being sliced? How did any of that happen? Did these people... But this is from... They're far away. So did these people come out from the... But the old dude said he had never seen it. So what happened to all of them? Maybe they had a relic? A different relic, and it caused all of this? Maybe the compass caused... I don't feel like the compass caused all of this. But he tells us an old sailor's story. Something that nobody would believe. And instead, it becomes the center of our beliefs, really. Threatening cats, just because you couldn't, had to make it as clear as we could that the guy's as awful as could be. Yeah, seasickness is a bitch. I wonder... No, these are so old, and only some of the boats make it. Eating insects sure is a weird trait. That's a weird trait that makes me distasteful toward this character. Wazukyan. Eating raw bugs. He seems to just like it. says it's for keeping disease, but he seems to just like it. And the whole just lots of creepy, smiley dad vibes, like, I guess, hits some notes that we've already played a few times and has a little bit of resonance. Things I believe in prove to be right. Sure is a line, isn't it? You manifest, Wazukyan. You out there with lucky girl energy or whatever. And then on the other side, introducing himself to give us some unrequested, but still probably pretty useful advice, is Griffith. Hi, Griffith. What's up, bro? This guy seems interesting. The truth? Okay, what? Don't mind him, so he's pretty dismissive of him. Bailoff! It's not naive, necessarily. The truth that he physically senses has proven impossible to reduce to words for him and the rest of us. When he says the rest of us, does he mean us three? I think he means us three. We three chosen adventurers, or we three who feel the true longing that there is something calling to us out there. And maybe it really is. It does feel like maybe it's pain. Maybe that's some element of it. It does seem to be linked to almost everything. Of course, that works narratively, because pain and suffering, but it seems to be linked, and at least these two, have very distinct and obvious signs of violence wrought against them. And when we think back on it, Rico was born dead and then died and was reborn in the box endlessly as a baby. A lot of pain. I don't know. Either way, we figured it was all in his head. But it turns out he's the real deal. You might say he's touched by the divine. And a god that we don't have a name for, so the god that they're looking for is like the spirit of adventure and yearning itself embodied by the pit. Right? Right. And we give them the name, the Three Sages, and her response is to be imposter syndrome, like, I'm not worth anything, I'm not worthy of this. And that's the core trauma in this character's background, is that, well, she was treated as though she was only worth one thing, a toy to be played with and discarded, and now sees herself as used up and destroyed because the man who used her and destroyed her, or tried to, told her so. And so in believing it, it is true. What does she say exactly? Don't have any gifts like his. What do you want me for? With this ugly body of mine. Only thing I can do is take care of others. And is ashamed. So then he speaks to Beauty, and she sees him. And he looms with piercing eyes. This is a cool shot. All our characters throughout Made in Abyss always have really big irises that fill up their whole eye hole, their whole sclera, and don't leave much room around the whites. Usual anime stuff, but it makes it really stark when we flash from one face with big, wide, dark eyes to these bright, piercing pinpricks in comparison. Truly hawk-like, staring straight through you. And there is a scene in Berserk that looks almost exactly like this, with Griffith looking almost exactly like that. Although it's different in some ways, it's also, I don't know, the character feels right. Beauty is not a trait of things in and of themselves, is what he's saying. I really like the philosophical tone that he takes. I find it fun that we sort of dismiss it as him being condescending a little bit later, because I think he was actually really quite right on the money with a total perspective shift that she will have no chance of grappling with at present. Beauty is not inherent. This is aesthetics. And truly an interesting branch of philosophy that I'm not super well versed in, but I've got my basic background. What is it that makes a thing beautiful or true or any of those other monikers that we as humans ascribe to the actions or people or things that we experience in our world? Is it that way in and of itself, or is it something in the experiencing that makes it so? And the answer is, of course, it's something in the experiencing, right? In the same realm as a tree in the forest not making a sound, a tree falling in the forest will make vibrations in the air, but sound is an experience. And we don't get into it. I'm on both sides on that one. I don't care. Sound is an experiential thing, right? At least in that context, I think of it as such. Beauty is an experienced thing, and without an observer, beauty is irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a truth like magnetism, like a thing can be magnetically charged and have nothing around it and it's still magnetically charged, although you might even say that that has little meaning without something polar and to be acted upon by it, but that's a little wibbly. Beauty isn't inherent. It's not a feature or a... He lists a bunch of other words. Ugly because ugly. She's just whelmed by his eyes. And he takes that as acceptance and understanding. That's right, beauty is in one's eyes. Truly in the eye of the beholder. And she does not understand. In their gaze. I get the impression, having read some old philosophers, there are times when an ancient philosopher, for example, will come across an idea and have the thing right on the money, and then not have the common colloquialisms that we now, thousands of years later, use to describe that idea with relative ease. And so the philosopher dances around the idea all over, not really able to put it into that perfect, simple, clicky truism, whatever truth. I get that impression from Belaf here as he's like jabbing at this beauty is in the eye of the beholder idea without exactly having it as part of his like cultural canon to lean on. I think it's really cool feeling. Position, status, prestige, appearance, and even confidence are not the true nature of beauty. No, they're all things that may be found beautiful by an observer, depending on the observer. To put this so front and center in our story is super interesting, because in a value judgment sense, what it means is that what you find worthwhile is worthwhile because you find it so. It's not a far leap. What is beautiful because it is seen to be so by an observer, and the only observer that matters in your life is you. So you choose your beauty, right? That's what it means. And if beauty is value, and I think it is, treasure, and that's an idea that we've already solidified. You choose your treasure in some ways. Then you choose your destiny. Even if it's something that's calling to you, that calling is you reacting to the world like a puzzle piece fitting into place. Like a neurotransmitter receptor with the right shape to fit in the right molecule. Like, it's you finding how you lock in with the world, and that yearning is the magnetic charge of you, pulled in a direction that is as you yourself. and is as beautiful as you accept it to be. So if we take that idea and run with it, it's Belaf saying in so many words that being true to yourself is the most beautiful thing that there can be. At least that's how I'm taking it. And then, what would we say? Perhaps that the only ugliness in this character is her doubt? Something like that. Because Belaf stands there, face all scarred, and is beautiful. Right? She doesn't see his scars, not even a little bit. And in the same breath, she's like, I'm so dirty and disgusting and ugly. Doesn't match up, does it? She sees right past his imperfections while accenting and focusing on her own. The only ugly thing about you is your doubt. I like this whole thing. I like it. Then we turn it toward outside threats and suffering. Unfair, unpleasant, caused by malice, suffering. Even if you carry all of this pain, these wounds and burdens, even if you fall and can't get back up, it's in your eyes. And if they still contain those deep emotions, then there you find beauty. And then he says, you have dark eyes. Fix your eyes upon the darkness. To unpack that, only in true darkness can you find a light that is yours, that no one else has found. Also, you're kind of cute. You're alright, I guess. Huh? My eyes will not be deceived by simple exterior things. And then cuts right to it. Remember that when that voice frightens you. And then he's called off, and we're called off. Vueko. See, that's got vowels in places where I feel like they shouldn't be. Off to go help people. Worthless, huh? There are some really cool transitions over this episode. The closing of the hatch into storms. Whoosh. Is cool. It could have been cooler, but the going across the barrier is the coolest one. The smack too. Really neat. And in the midst of a torrential rainstorm, we come across it. The island of the lost. And all our training begins to pay off. To our abandoned homeland, to our people, an army marches upon unnamed Orth. A new place, not untouched, but still wild. Built on the ruins of yet another civilization. We enter carrying one of their artifacts, trade it to them. Gather a guide who is way too cute to not have horrible things happen to her. At least they didn't turn her into the goop. And establish a connection beyond words between these two characters that's very familiar to other connections that we've had in the show. And makes you think that horrible things might happen to one or more of them. But here is a person who's been damaged and then discarded because her one purpose, same as your purpose, is as far as you've incorporated and internalized, is no longer possible for her. God. Also, how the fuck do they know that this tiny child can't have children? Oh, I don't want to know. What's the call? Bring the guide. Don't go up. So we begin finding out, from an outsider's perspective, all the things that we've already learned about the Abyss. Deeper and deeper. Seeking the source. And as we smack into the giant bubble of goo and enter the submarine that will take us deeper into the Abyss, we switch times. And do some cuteness in the present. And some poop jokes. I don't vibe with it. It's not my vibe. You know what is my vibe? Traveling through endless layers of bones and stuff. Pretty crazy cool. and then discovering a ritual dish that we don't know the meaning of. But it seems like they figured it out. Oh, so long ago. Oh, so horribly. I wonder if that whistle is out there anywhere. So we emerge on the same landscape that they saw, another group of yearning-bound travelers, stepping into the capital of the unreturned. And that's where we'll pick up next week. What the fuck is this place? It looks like Orth from the old Orth. Like from our Orth, with the windmills and the clock towers and just folded in. And maybe in another distant time, I don't know, man. Pretty crazy. I'm really impressed by the feeling of this episode. And the insert song with oh my god, that was really good too. The whole thing just... like a perfect one-bite appetizer. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Made in Abyss. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to catch you next week for the next one. You can get a little bit early on the Patreon. Otherwise, I'll see you then. Much love. Peace.